Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-day world currencies, stock markets and commodities wrap-up for Thursday, June 26, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Key currencies were notably weak against major peers. The greenback reached all-time lows against the euro, sterling and Swiss franc. Most pairs showed strong downward volatility with 4 consecutive days of decline. The weekly performance has been particularly challenging for the US dollar, declining over 2.2% against the pound and 2.25% versus the Swissy. Year-to-date losses are most pronounced against the euro and Swiss franc, both exceeding 11%. The dollar weakness extended to Asian currencies, with the Singapore dollar reaching new record highs. The loonie broke out of its recent consolidation phase, while the yuan showed strong downward volatility against the greenback. Looking at returns, the dollar has experienced its sharpest weekly decline against the Kiwi and Sing, down over 2% and 1.4% respectively. The rupee stands out as relatively stable, showing marginal gains month to date.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Poland leads today's gains, surging 3.5% to a new all-time high with strong upward momentum. Japan broke out of a 3-day consolidation, climbing 2.1%. Brazil and Indonesia showed strength, advancing 2% and 1.9% respectively. Examining returns, Poland has delivered exceptional performance with a 51.7% year-to-date return. Japan shows strong weekly momentum at 3.1%, while Brazil has accumulated a 25% gain year-to-date. Indonesia and New Zealand show more modest gains. Among underperforming markets, Turkey declined 1.5%, marking its second consecutive down day amid a strong negative trend. Hong Kong and South Korea both retreated despite maintaining positive overall trends. Israel showed minimal movement with some upward volatility. Looking at returns, Turkey stands out with a minus 15.8% year-to-date decline. Despite today's weakness, Hong Kong and South Korea maintain solid year-to-date gains of 19.6% and 41.4% respectively. Israel shows resilience with a 19.5% year-to-date return.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Palladium Futures led metals with a 7.4% surge, breaking out after 4 days of consolidation. Copper Futures gained 2.7%, showing strong upward momentum for 4 consecutive sessions. Silver Futures rose 1.2%. While gold futures and aluminum futures remained relatively flat. Year-to-date performance shows gold futures leading with a 26.5% return. Copper futures and silver futures both posted gains of about 25%. Palladium showed strong weekly momentum with an 8.8% gain, while aluminum recorded modest returns across all time frames. In energy markets, heating oil futures advanced 3.4% with strong positive momentum. Natural gas futures declined 3%, marking its 4th consecutive down day with increasing downward volatility. Crude oil and Brent crude showed modest gains, while gasoline futures edged up slightly. Monthly returns show heating oil leading with an 18.4% gain. Natural gas showed weakness across all time frames, down 15.4% this week. Brent and crude oil both recorded year-to-date losses around 9%, while gasoline maintained modest positive returns. Live cattle futures gained 1.4% with mixed positive momentum. Corn futures rose 2.6% despite its strong negative trend. Class 2I milk futures fell 1.3%. Feeder cattle remained flat, while lean hogs broke downward after 4 days of consolidation. Year-to-date performance shows lean hogs leading with a remarkable 38.3% return. Feeder cattle gained 15.3%, while live cattle rose 9.2%. Class 2, milk and corn, both recorded losses around 8–9% for the year. In grains, corn futures rose 2.6%, despite maintaining a strong negative trend. Oat futures gained 1.6%. Rough rice dropped 1.3% with strong downward volatility. Wheat fell 1%, marking its 4th consecutive decline, while soybeans showed continued weakness. Weekly performance shows broad weakness across grains. Wheat futures led declines, down 7.8%. Oats and soybeans both fell around 3–4%. Rough rice dropped 2.6%. Year-to-date, only oats maintained positive returns at 4.9%. Soft commodities showed mixed performance today. Cocoa led gains, rising 3.9% to 9,040, while sugar advanced 2.5% to 16.38, breaking upward after 3 days of flat trading. Coffee futures continued its downward trend, marking its 3rd consecutive decline amid 8 days of volatility. Looking at weekly returns, cocoa shows the strongest performance, up 10.7%, while orange juice has struggled year-to-date, down 52%. Cotton futures maintains positive returns across all time frames, though modest, while other commodities show negative year-to-date performance.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-day World Currency, Markets and Commodities wrap-up. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.